Hi, and welcome to day 2 of the summer member makeover. And we are here today. I know Janie got on at the last minute. She's had a couple things going on, and we're hoping that she can hear us. Janie, can you hear us? I don't know if she can hear us. I can hear everybody. Oh, so let's just go through and we'll introduce everybody and hopefully we'll be able to hear Janie. So Donna, why don't you take and say hi so everybody
Hi.
knows which one you are. Okay, hi
Hi.
Donna.
I'm Donna Crenshaw, and I happen to reside in the 60 plus arena.
Thank you for joining us. And let's go on to Crystal.
Hello, I'm Crystal. I'm in my 40s. I'm from Canada.
And Janie, who is supposed to be here, but I know she's having trouble. She's also had an emergency in her family, and she was on for a little bit, but I don't think she could hear us. So I'm not sure if she's going to be joining us today or not. She did send me a little bit of update info. So if she doesn't get back on, I know we'll hear from her tomorrow. So gals, let's get started today. So I just wanted to remind you that yesterday you determined your why. And I hope last night you gals really sat down and you kind of looked through that why. And do you feel that you made it such a big impact why that you're really, really going to strive to make this work?
I think so because mine's more long term.
Awesome. Okay. And Crystal?
Absolutely. I mean, the desire is definitely there, but I really liked separating it in smaller goals as well, and maybe rewarding ourselves throughout the process too.
And that is so important. So thank you, Crystal, for bringing that up. Now, like yesterday when we were talking, we wanted to make sure that everybody wrote down their goals, because if we just think about our goal, it's really a dream without a deadline. So that's what a dream is. It doesn't have a deadline. But we know that when we write out, and it's handwritten, they even say that we should not be typing them in our computer. We should actually be putting the pen to the paper and handwriting them out. Because when we do that, we are 42% more. It increases our chances by 42% to reach that goal. And so that's why it's so important that we put the pen to the paper and we actually handwrite it out. And then it's wise to take and post it somewhere where you're going to see it on a daily basis. And I encourage my women a lot of times to not just post it on their computer or beside their computer, but maybe post it in your bed, on your bathroom mirror, so that when you get up first thing in the morning, you know that that's what you're living for today. Or you post it, some other places. I also happen to, in my office and in my home, I have a little post a lot of places that says, what am I grateful for right now? Because I think it's important that we're looking at our goals and we're always looking with an attitude of gratitude. And we'll be talking more about gratitude later, but that's just a little extra that I just shared. So it's important that we write them down. Now, the one thing we did not talk about yesterday, I know you all took a weight and you all wrote down your weight and you all had determined how many pounds. Oops, Crystal, what happened? We did lose Crystal. We did determine what had happened, and I'm going to take and see if I can't email her so that we can make sure she gets back on. That we do not weigh again. We do not want to take another weight. So it's really important that we take and make sure that we only weigh one time a week. And okay, and so Janie had said that Okay, Janie couldn't hear us, and so that's why she's not here. And I'm going to take and hurry up right now and let Crystal know she did drop off. Sorry about this. We'll all...
It's live.
Yeah, it's live.
Real life.
All right, so we'll get that all sent off to her, and hopefully she'll be here again. But it's so important because I have so many women when they first start to think about losing weight, improving their health, that they try and weigh themselves every day. Well, if we're only losing, say, 2 pounds a week, that's only a few ounces a day if you spread it out. And no scale is that exact because our weight fluctuates throughout the day. If you took your weight about 3 or 4 times during the day, it's going to weigh a different number of ounces every single time you hop on. So it's important. Weigh yourself, preferably first thing in the morning, maybe in the buff, after you've gone to the bathroom, but probably before you haven't had anything to eat or drink, and then you're going to be very consistent. So it's just really important that we take and only weigh once a week. So I want you to make sure that you don't do it, because if you do, it also, if you haven't lost as much as you think you should have or whatever, it tends to send people more in a downward spiral. So I just want to make sure that everybody takes and only weighs once a day. So then the next thing we want to talk about is we got a package in the mail. And it's a happy package. And on Friday, I'm going to be opening this because we will have a guest speaker on Friday who's going to talk a little bit more about what's in this package and how this can be won by one of you out there. And I am just so excited. I can't wait to be able to have this package opened, and you guys are all going to be able to get something or win. Somebody's going to be able to win. And by the way, yesterday I mentioned we're going to have winners picked throughout the week and throughout the whole 4 weeks. So please make sure that you're checking and commenting. Eventually, we're going to talk about a YouTube channel and all sorts of other things. So there's all sorts of ways that you can take and make sure that you're winning points or earning points to be able to go into the different drawings. And then also this morning, you should have received a link, and the link went to a printout where you could print out, my body is fully hydrated and I am wonderful. And so it's really important that we think about using new techniques to be able to lower our stress. I know yesterday we talked about a lot of people are feeling really stressed and are suffering from stress, and how important it is that we make sure that we're handling our stress. So this is a new and different technique. It's actually just coloring, and you're going to find that as you color, there again, you're putting pen to paper, but it's relaxing, it's soothing. You don't have to think about it. It's creative. It's using a different part of your brain than what you normally would do to be able to help lower your stress. So I encourage you, print it out, start coloring it. I had a little stress last night, and as you can tell, I colored a little bit of it away. So it's fun, and it's a great way to get going. So I think with that, we're just going to start continue going. So I just sent Crystal another note because I haven't heard from her. Oh, just a second. All right, we'll see what happens here. And we're going to just start with just you, Donna. I hope you're okay with that.
Yes.
All right. Oh, there she is. She's here. We're going to add her to the broadcast. Okay. All right, we've got you back.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, like we were telling everybody, this is live. So, and it's the first time we've been doing this with this many people. So, anyway, it is live. And so they know it. So, I was just sharing with everybody, Crystal, that when we are in the process of trying to make health changes and losing weight as a part of it, we want to make sure that we only weigh one time a week, because we're only going to be losing ounces at a time. And if you weigh more than that and it's not exactly where you think it will be, it so often sends people in more of a downward spiral. So I really encourage you, weighed yesterday morning, don't weigh again until next Monday morning. Okay, you agree to that?
I do.
Okay,
Absolutely.
awesome. So today we started by boosting our metabolism. So did everybody download their metabolism booster, the mini chat booster?
I did.
Okay, did you, Crystal?
I did, yes.
Okay, did you get some notice?
7 a.m.
Oh, good. I was hoping it wasn't too early for you there in Canada. So that's good. And so we also took and I sent you guys a lot of information on why we want to start boosting our metabolism by drinking more water. And it's so important that we're thinking about how is the easiest way to jumpstart a metabolism. And the one thing that is proven, and I personally know from working with thousands of women, is women don't drink enough water. In fact, men don't either, but we don't worry about them. I just pretty much deal with women. So it's important that we think about hydrating. And a lot of times I found that women, when they first start to want to be focusing on weight, they kind of forget about the water because they're worried about water weight. And no, you don't want to do that. You want to be drinking the water, because the water has been proven that it helps you lose weight faster. So it's really important. It will boost your metabolism because your body has really been working hard to keep going and functioning on a low fluid intake. So now with putting more water into it, your body's going to run at a higher metabolic rate. It's important once you get to where you want to be, because it's known to be a real help in maintenance. It's so important. You forget drinking water, the weight's going to go up because your body's protecting itself. It also, and I know in one day you can't tell, but by the end of the week, I think you'll notice it helps improve mental focusing, especially in the afternoon. So it's so important. Our brain is about, I don't know, it's a huge amount of water. And so it needs to be properly hydrated. And if you're not hydrating your body, it's hard for the brain to be properly hydrated too. So it's so important that you're really drinking plenty of water. And then they found it oftentimes, well, if people have headache issues, it'll help relieve headaches, because sometimes headaches are a sign that, hey, we're getting on the dehydrated side. And then the other thing that I think is really important is it can also help improve our mood. And that's for a lot of different reasons. First of all, we have a little bit more energy, and that helps improve our mood. So drinking water is extremely important. So how much water should you drink? So did you each sit down and do the calculated math and try to figure it out?
Yes.
And were you surprised at how much you probably needed to drink in a day? I think
Yes.
that's the hard part. So typically we just need to take our weight. We want to divide it by 2, and that's the number of ounces. By right, it's a good place. It's a good goal for our hydration. But oftentimes it's more than those 64 ounces that so many people tell you.
Yes.
Yes. And so if you're a long ways from where the goal suggested you be, I think that it's important to take and at least strive for the 64 ounces. So how do you feel about that?
Well, I'm at 68 today, and I
Okay.
am quite a bit short of where I'm supposed to be.
Okay. But the good news is you're at 68.
That's true.
Okay. So, like we said, talked a little bit yesterday, I want you to be thinking about where you've been and where you're going, not what you think you should have done. Because if we start to look at all of our changes as in the positive rather than trying to find the little flaws with them, we're going to be so much feeling like we've accomplished so much more, and we're going to be getting that much closer to our goal a lot quicker. So, I'd say great job on the 68. How about you, Crystal?
I'm getting I'm getting close to my daily allowance. I have a lot of work to do, but I'm a bit earlier than you ladies, so I still have a little bit of time to get it in.
Right, and remember, you don't have to change it all in just one day. Okay, you want to be able to take and make the change, and then get into that habit of being able to kind of stick with that change. So then I sent you some information about what type of water is best. And so I just wanted to share with everybody, like I shared with you, that really we want to stick with pretty plain water. And that can be tap water, it can be bottled water, it can be filtered water, or sparkling water. But we want it to be naturally flavored. If you want to flavor it, that's fine, as long as you're using something natural like cucumbers, lemons, limes, oranges. It could be berries, strawberries, raspberries, things like that. Even herbs like mint or basil and things on that order can really help with your flavor of water. But the one thing we don't want to do is, I really suggest no artificial sweeteners. So, in the past, have you ever gone to the artificial sweeteners to sweeten that water?
No.
Okay, well, we got some no's and we've got some yeses. And so, I want to just briefly explain why not the artificial sweeteners. Because so many people think, well, I should be able to drink diet soda that has no calories, or I should be able to have the no calorie additives. But the problem is when you add them, that artificial sweetener, your tongue senses sweet. It doesn't know it's fake. It actually senses that it's a sweet. And that's why, that's what's created to do by the people that produce it. But right away, your brain is notified that here comes a whole bunch of sweet. And the brain says, no worries, I'll tell the pancreas and we'll dump in a bunch of insulin. And so it does. But by the time the insulin is flowing around in your bloodstream and the water, the artificial sweetener, whatever it is in, gets to your stomach, there's nothing to digest. So there's no glucose going out into your bloodstream. So there's nothing for your insulin to work on. And what they do know is that this leads to insulin resistance. And insulin resistance leads to type 2 diabetes. So artificial sweeteners done by themselves are awful. I don't like to try and tell people don't do, but that's one of the things I encourage you to take and really limit. But if you absolutely need to have something with an artificial sweetener in, one of the tips I always share is make sure you have something else to eat with it that has some protein in it. Okay, some protein and some carbs. Because if you're eating something with the artificial sweetener and it has a combination of protein and carbs, now you do have, the protein will slow down that absorption and the carbs will dump in a little bit of glucose. So it's going to make it less harmful for creating so much insulin. So if you're ever wanting an artificial sweetener, make sure you eat something with it that will produce a little bit of carbs and a little bit of protein. Now, I wanted to also share a tad bit more tips about water. as far as how and when should you drink the water. Okay, so I think you guys read what temperature did I recommend the water to be?
Cold.
Cold, right. And I know people there again think, well, that's crazy. It's just cold water. But studies have shown that the cold water does take and make your body have to heat it up a little bit. And that helps boost the metabolism for anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour just because you were drinking cold water. So it's kind of an easy way to be able to keep it higher. Now, I'm not saying in the middle of winter, and maybe especially in Canada where it's got to be really cold, that cold water is the thing to be drinking. But I think it's something to think about, especially, you know, being it's summertime and stuff like that. So cold can be helpful. But then also when to drink it, it's important to drink it throughout your day, but about a half an hour before you're going to eat your meal, whether it be your lunch, your breakfast, or your evening meal. If you have a glass of water, it has been proven that you will eat a lot less calories. You will intake less calories for that meal. And as much as they found up to 400 calories a day just because you're drinking water. Now, there's a reason why, is because our hunger hormone, it's called ghrelin, it makes our stomach growl when we're hungry. That tends to it also does regulate our fluid levels, our hydration. So when our body is thinking it needs more hydration, it will make your ghrelin start to growl. So in other words, you feel hungry, but in reality, you're thirsty. So if you're quieting that ghrelin with your water, you're not going to go into your meal nearly as hungry as you would be before in the past when you weren't doing the water. So it's really wise. Try and have some water before you eat. And that's a beautiful way if you go to a restaurant, because they're always bringing you water. Just make sure you're drinking the water while you're waiting for your meal, and you're going to be set to go. So is there any questions over either any of that, gals?
No.
All right. Then the other thing we talked a little bit about were coffee and tea. So coffee and tea, should we count those as water? Right.
No.
Typically not. There are exceptions. Coffee and tea, because they have caffeine, they're more of a diuretic, so it means we need to drink a little bit more water if they want to deplete us a little water. But both caffeine or coffee and tea help improve our metabolism. So don't avoid them. I appreciate people that start their morning off with either coffee or tea. Mine, I happen to start with coffee. That's when I have my coffee. And I really encourage you guys, and I think you guys probably read that, to have some green tea in the afternoon. I mean, it could be coffee too. I like the other health benefits of green tea. It doesn't matter. But if you have some green tea in the afternoon, green tea has been shown itself to aid in weight loss. And it's also going to take and spike your metabolism. So green tea is something that I really think is worth trying and doing, because it will promote the weight loss, especially if it's not sweetened. Okay, if you're sweetening it, then you need to be thinking about what are you going to eat with it. And then what about sparkling water? Do either one of you gals do sparkling water?
I know you've recommended it, but I haven't. But can we go back to the green tea for just a
Sure,
second?
yes, perfect.
Is there a specific time that's better to drink the green tea? And can you have the green tea that's flavored, like the green tea with raspberry?
Yeah,
You
as
know,
long
like
flavors.
Twillings has some green teas, and they have flavored.
Yes. And there's some that are like peach flavor and pomegranate and all those. Those are fine because those are natural flavors. They do not have any unless, I buy, and I'm sure you all do too, the good teas where they don't throw other stuff in it.
Yep.
And so those are perfect. As far as timing, I think it's important in the morning to, as we're trying to kickstart our metabolism, to be able to have either coffee or tea. And it doesn't have to be green, but because of all the research behind specifically green tea tends to have more health benefits than a lot of other teas. And it's also been proven to really aid in weight loss. And I know that the women I work with, when they're drinking green tea, and I want to say especially in the afternoon, because a lot of them weren't tea drinkers that much, that it helps propel them through their afternoon better, and they will see better results on the scale. If you want to do it both green tea morning and afternoon, that's fine. Most people, I just recommend you don't do it after dinner, unless, because it might help or hinder your sleeping pattern. Did that answer it good enough, Donna?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So let's talk a tad bit about sparkling water. So sparkling water, I have a lot of people ask about that. And sparkling water is really interesting because it has been proven that it helps a lot of people with digestion and also with swallowing. So people, especially as people get older, they found if they're having trouble with swallowing, that a lot of times sparkling water will help with that. So that's kind of interesting. But the thing that I love about sparkling water, it's a little bit more special, and it makes it a little more interesting. And so I really enjoy sparkling water, like with my lunch or with my evening meal. Because I feel like it's a little bit more special. And as Janie said that she thought the water tasted real watery, I think that sparkling water makes the water taste a lot different. So it's great as long as it has just natural flavors in it. And let's see, and of course, the no artificial sweeteners. All right, so how much water should we have in our cup or our container? So this is an interesting question. And the reason I ask is because when I get a lot of women and they start drinking water, they go out and buy the big jugs. So because then they can tell when I've drunk, one of the jugs, I'm halfway there or whatever. But what I encourage women to do is get something smaller, like a coffee cup, because this only holds 2 cups of water instead of something that's big that holds 4 or more cups. And I actually have to get up and fill it more often. And every time you can get a little bit more movement through your day, it helps. And especially if you're working a desk job, and I know, Crystal, you're probably at your desk a lot. I know I'm at my desk. I know Donna's probably at her desk or in her car a lot.
In my car.
And so it's kind of important to just look for those little reasons for us to get up and move, because it helps our whole body. So I always suggest try something that's only 8 or 12 ounces. It makes it easy to be able to record and know what you're doing, but you actually do get a few extra steps for your day. And so then the last thing I'd ask you gals to do is to do some daily tracking. So has that been working okay today?
Yes. Looks like she's done a pretty good job.
So the goal is to just take and make it easy. You can either write down the answers or just check it off. So I don't want you to take and have to feel like, oh, it's a lot of work, but I also don't want you to wait till the end of the day, because if we wait till the end of the day, I hate to tell you, it's not going to be anywhere near as accurate. So whatever works best for you, but I do know that the more we kind of quickly track what we're doing, it doesn't have to be real detailed, the easier it is to be able to get our desired results.
And it serves as a little reminder to keep us kind of on track, which I appreciate a lot.
Awesome. Well, good. So is anybody willing to say what was different about today? This is the first day you've been trying to start to improve your health. And in the past, you probably were thinking about dieting and just worrying all about food. But today we only dealt with hydration. How did you feel about that?
It was easier to take on. Spent a lot of time in the bathroom, but I know that will adjust. itself out eventually. But no, it was nice not worried about everything all at once. Like it makes it a smaller goal and you can accomplish it. I'm not near at the 68 ounces. Good for you, Donna. You're the trooper today. But just being able to keep on that goal and concentrating on that has been extremely helpful, and it's not hard to do.
Awesome. Donna, do you have
Yeah.
anything to share?
I had fallen off the wagon, so to speak, because as Kathy knows, I got stuck at 86. I could do 86 easily, but then the summer has hit, which is the worst time in the world. But I've gotten where I was not drinking consistently, so it has made me be more aware to work at
Awesome.
doing that to
Awesome.
strive to get back up there.
Awesome. Awesome. And did anybody try the morning cocktail?
Yes, I
No,
did.
What did
I
you
did not.
think? What did you think, Crystal?
I substituted a lime instead of lemon because that's what I had at home.
Okay.
And at first I was like, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. And it wasn't too bad. It was a little bit weird on my stomach. My stomach was like, whoa, what are you doing to me at first? But after that, it wasn't too bad. But I was definitely counting down the 30 minutes before I had my cup of coffee.
Well, and it probably can be a little before the 30 minutes. It's just been interesting to know how that the hot lemon water has been shown for in a lot of different research that it can really aid digestion, and it kind of goes against everybody's thought because it seems like it's acidic, but the way our body handles it, it can really help. So you don't have to do it if you don't want to, but I think it's another one of those, I want to say, little hacks that can really help. So
I'll do it tomorrow.
Yep, do it and see what you
I prefer
think.
the cold water over the hot water, though. Like over the warmer water, for sure.
Okay,
but
perfect.
it wasn't bad, actually. And I think getting into the habit, I think you could quite enjoy it each morning.
Yeah, you can. In the winter, the warm is really nice. So whatever, you don't, none of this is stuff you have to do. It's just some good hacks to try and see how it works for you. So now going into this evening, I would like to make sure that you each write down your wins. Okay? Because typically when people are making diet changes or whatever you want to call it, they're looking at what they didn't do. But my goal is to help you look at your wins. This is how I improved from yesterday. It's just a manner of just starting to make gradual changes that you can use for a lifetime. And so it can't be a boatload of them all at once. It has to be gradual, and we build from there. So I really hope that you'll look and write down what your accomplishments are. And then if you have something that I want to call up level for tomorrow, you can write that one down too. So I just want you to know that tomorrow we are going to be starting to look at food, but we're only going to be looking at it for one meal. And I think I shared that yesterday. That meal's going to be early in the day. And so once you get your information, I hope that you will take and figure out what you can do for that one meal tomorrow. And then we're going to continue with the hydration. Now, with the hydration tomorrow, just try and add 1 or 2 ounces more for the day. It doesn't have to be each time you drink. Just gradually build up a little bit, because you don't want to try and jump too fast, or you're just really not going to feel like you're in it. I want to say I want you to be able to enjoy it and to make those steps gradually, rather than to feel like, oh, I've got to do all of this. No, it's that gradual changes. Got that one, Crystal?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, gradual changes. And I just wanted to let all our viewers know that we still have, if they want to follow along, they can go to summermembermakeover.com. That's www.summermembermakeover.com. And you can get all of the helpful tips and the trackers and the metabolism booster and the book with the 21 days of easy metabolism boosting recipes, my easy daily guide to fit into your skinny jeans book, and it's really good. Let's see, we have so one of our viewers, Terry, is participating. She said that Asian pear green tea and the Tazo. I love the Tazo because Tazo has a green ginger tea that is amazing. And it's great. So that's the one that I typically use. So thank you, Terry, for sharing that. So with that, we're going to call it a wraps for day 2. It looks like Crystal probably had to leave. I know she's still at work. So thank you for joining today, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.